Welcome to another deep dive. Usually we pick a specific topic, like a book or a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
But today, we're doing something a little different.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
We're taking a look at real estate listings.
Real estate listings, huh?
Yeah, specifically in Toronto. And all of these listings fall within a pretty specific price range.
Got it. So are we talking starter homes, luxury condos? What's the range?
Well, not quite starter homes.
Okay.
We're looking at properties listed somewhere between $3.1 million and $4.3 million.
Okay, now we're talking. That's a pretty significant chunk of change.
It is, and it's not about finding one specific house to buy. It's more about understanding the market at that level.
Right, I see. Like, what kind of properties can you actually get for that kind of money in a city like Toronto in 2025?
Exactly. What neighborhoods, what features, what are the trade-offs buyers might be considering?
Interesting. So what kind of information do we have to work with?
Well, we've got addresses, obviously.
Of
Listed prices, property taxes from last year, lot sizes, number of rooms, bathrooms, all the key features that sellers like to highlight.
Wow, so really getting into the nitty-gritty.
Oh, yeah. We even have the open house schedules for this coming weekend, the 29th and 30th of March.
So we can really see what's actively on the market right now.
Exactly. And our goal today is to really dig into all of this data, and see if we can get a clear picture of what this segment of the Toronto housing market actually looks like right now.
I like it. It's almost like a real-time market analysis.
It is. And one of the first things that jumps out, just looking at this list, is the variety of neighborhoods we're dealing with.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not just concentrated in one super expensive pocket of the city.
No, not at all. We're seeing listings in Lawrence Park South, Casa Loma, Lytton Park, Rosedale Moore Park.
Okay, those are some of those classic high-end Toronto neighborhoods.
Right. But then we also have Leaside, the Annex, Mount Pleasant East, so a real mix of areas.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, those are all desirable areas in their own right, but they each have such a distinct character.
Absolutely. And you can immediately see how that impacts both the asking price and the type of property you're likely to find.
Right. Because, I mean, even within that 3.1 to 4.3 million range, there are still some pretty substantial price differences.
There are. And it makes you wonder, what are those extra few $100,000 actually getting you?
Is it just about square footage? Or is it about the size of the lot, the age of the house, the specific features, or even just, the prestige of a certain address?
Exactly. And that's what we're going to try to unpack today.
Awesome. I'm intrigued. Let's dive in.
All right, so let's start with the detached homes. That's the biggest category we have.
Okay, makes sense. Detached homes are usually considered like the gold standard, right? Especially in a city.
They are. And the first one that caught my eye is 63 St. Leonard's Avenue in Lawrence Park South.
Lawrence Park, yeah, that's a classic family-friendly neighborhood.
It is. So this one's listed at $3,150,000. It's a two-story, traditional style, on a pretty large lot.
How large are we talking?
60 by 150 feet.
Wow, that's a good size for Toronto.
It is. It has 9 principal rooms, plus 4 other spaces, so a total of 13.
Okay, so plenty of space.
4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. And they really highlight the family-friendly features in the listing.
Like what?
A family room with floor-to-ceiling windows.
Nice, lots of natural light.
A big eat-in kitchen, stainless steel appliances, a combined dining and sitting room that walks out to a deck.
Okay, it's good for entertaining.
Exactly. And then there's a finished basement with a recreation room, a mud room with access to the garage, and even an exercise area.
Wow, so like a full self-contained living space down there?
Pretty much.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, they mentioned the in-ground pool.
Of course. Gotta have that pool.
And the south-facing backyard is fenced.
Okay, so good for privacy and safety with kids.
And then they highlight the proximity to some top-rated schools, both public and private.
Yeah, that's a big selling point for Lawrence Park, right?
It is. Blythewood Junior High, Lawrence Park Collegiate, Crescent School, Havergal College, Toronto French School.
So a lot of options for families to choose from.
And then they mentioned being close to all the amenities at Yonge and Lawrence.
Right, so shops, restaurants, the subway line.
Exactly. Easy access to everything.
Okay, so this one is really painting a picture of that classic affluent family lifestyle in a sought-after neighborhood.
It is. Now, just a bit south of there, still in Lawrence Park South, we have 78 Chudley Avenue. This one is listed at $3,289,000.
So a bit pricier, but still in the same general area.
Right. It's on a smaller lot, 30 by 120.
Okay, so half the width of the previous one.
But still a detached two-story. This one has 9 principal rooms, plus 2 others,
Right.
4 bedrooms plus 1, and 4 bathrooms.
Okay. Similar in size overall then.
In terms of rooms, yes. But this one emphasizes that it was custom built about 14 years ago.
Oh, interesting. So newer construction then.
Exactly. And they highlight features like 10-foot ceilings on the main floor, oak hardwood floors throughout, a renovated kitchen with a center island, stainless steel appliances.
So more of that modern, move-in ready vibe.
Exactly. They also mention a family room with a gas fireplace and custom built-ins, a primary suite with a 5-piece ensuite, and a walk-in closet.
Sounds luxurious.
It does. And there's an upstairs laundry room, which is a nice touch.
Very practical.
And then a finished walkout basement with a recreation room and a guest suite or a nanny suite.
Okay, so that lower level could have a lot of different uses.
It could. And again, they highlight being walking distance to top schools and the TTC.
So location is still a huge selling point.
It is. But even within the same neighborhood, we're seeing different priorities.
Right. One is emphasizing that classic large lot. The other is focusing on more modern design and upgrades.
Exactly. Now let's move over to Rosedale Moore Park. We have 314 Glen Road listed at $3,350,000.
Okay, Rosedale. Now we're talking prime Toronto real estate.
We are. This one is a 2.5-story home on a narrower lot, 27.5 by 121 feet.
Okay, so a bit more vertical than those sprawling Lawrence Park properties.
It is, but it boasts a total of 13 rooms.
Wow, that's a lot of rooms.
5 bedrooms plus 1 and 5 bathrooms.
So definitely designed for a larger family or perhaps multi-generational living.
Potentially. The listing highlights features like a living room with a 2-way fireplace, a kitchen with built-in appliances, and a walkout to the yard, a dining room with a walkout to a deck.
So again, that indoor-outdoor flow seems to be popular.
It does. The primary bedroom has a 5-piece ensuite and its own walkout.
Fancy.
And then there's a finished basement with a family room, an office with a 4-piece bath, and a mudroom.
So that basement could be a whole separate living area almost.
It could. And they really emphasize the location here.
Well, Rosedale is known for its location.
It is. They say it's a short walk to the TTC, shopping, excellent schools, parks, and ravine trails.
So it really has that walkable lifestyle that so many people are looking for?
It does.
Mm.
Okay, now here's an interesting one. 42 True Davidson Drive in Leaside.
Leaside. Okay, so shifting gears a bit.
We are. This one is also listed at $3,350,000, the exact same price as that Rosedale property.
Wow, okay. So same price point, very different neighborhoods.
Very different. This one is a 3-story detached home on a larger lot, 40.03 by 126.78 feet.
Okay, so bigger than that Rosedale house.
It is. It has 10 principal rooms plus 2 others, 6 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
Wow, so this one is really spacious.
It is. And they mention soaring ceilings, hardwood floors, a living room with a fireplace that overlooks the dining room, a kitchen with a center island, and stainless steel appliances that's open to the family room.
So that open concept design again?
Yes. And that family room has a walkout to a deck.
Nice.
The primary bedroom has a 5-piece ensuite and 2 walk-in closets.
Okay, so no shortage of closet space in this one.
No. And then it has an unfinished walkout basement.
Unfinished. Interesting.
It is. But they mention that it overlooks a ravine.
Oh, wow. That's a huge selling point.
It is. And this property is located in Governor's Bridge.
Governor's Bridge, yeah. That's a very desirable part of Leaside.
It is. So again, you can see how location really impacts what you can get for your money.
Absolutely. I mean, same price point as that Rosedale property, but you're getting a much larger house with different kind of charm.
Right. Now let's move to the annex. We have 74 McPherson Avenue, listed at $3,395,000.
The annex. Okay, so back to a more central urban location.
We are. This is a 2-story detached home on a smaller lot, 25 by 120 feet.
Okay, so similar lot size to some of those other detached properties, but in a very different neighborhood.
Right. This one has 7 principal rooms plus 1, 3 bedrooms, and 4 bathrooms.
So a bit smaller overall than some of those other detached houses we've looked at.
It is. But they highlight features that are really appealing for an annex property.
Like what?
A private driveway with an integrated garage, which is a huge premium in the annex.
Oh, yeah. Parking is always a big deal downtown.
It is. They also mention an open concept main floor with 9-foot ceilings and French doors to a Juliet balcony.
Sounds charming.
It does. The renovated kitchen is open to the family room, which has an 18-foot cathedral ceiling and a walkout to a deck and a city garden.
Okay, so even on a smaller lot, they're still maximizing that indoor-outdoor connection.
Exactly. And the primary suite has a 5-piece ensuite. The finished walkout basement has direct garage access. And they explicitly mention that there are no heritage restrictions.
Oh, that's a big one in the annex, right. A lot of properties have limitations on what renovations you can do.
They do. And of course, they highlight being steps from Yonge Street, Ramsden Park, the TTC, and all the shops and restaurants in Summerhill, Rosedale, and Yorkville.
So you're really paying for that prime location and that annex lifestyle.
You are. Now, also listed at $3,395,000, but in Mount Pleasant East, we have 165 Sherwood Avenue.
Mount Pleasant East, interesting. That's a bit further north, right?
It is. This is a two-story detached home on a much larger lot, 37.25 by 182.58 feet.
Wow, that's a huge lot.
It is. 9 principal rooms plus 5 others, 4 bedrooms plus 1, and 4 bathrooms.
Okay, so definitely designed for a family.
And the listing says it was custom built in 1977.
Oh, interesting. So a bit of an older home, but probably very well maintained.
They describe it as having an open concept main floor with grand principal rooms, a gourmet kitchen with quartz counters, and a family room with a walkout to a deck and garden.
So still that focus on modern living and indoor-outdoor space.
Exactly. They also mentioned the spacious primary bedroom with a 5-piece ensuite and a walk-in closet. And they highlight that large south-facing lot being in the Blythewood Public School District.
Right, so appealing to families with school-aged kids.
And it's still within walking distance to Yonge Street for shopping and amenities.
Okay, so a good balance of space and convenience.
It is. Now back to Casa Loma. We have 233 McPherson Avenue.
Casa Loma, another one of those high-demand areas.
This one is listed at $3,490,000. It's a 2.5-story detached home on a more irregular lot.
Irregular lot.
Yeah, it's roughly 25 feet wide, but the depth is a bit unusual, 81.25 feet.
Okay, so maybe not a perfectly rectangular lot.
Right. But they highlight that it's a renovated residence in the Republic of Rathnally.
The Republic of Rathnally, what's that?
It's a really charming, kind of secluded pocket within Casa Loma. Very desirable.
Oh, okay. So it's like a neighborhood within a neighborhood.
Exactly. And the listing emphasizes the unique features of this property.
Like what?
A dining room with built-in shelves and speakers.
Okay, so ready for entertaining.
An oversized kitchen with professional appliances that overlooks the living room.
Nice.
And a low-maintenance backyard with a cold plunge and a sauna.
A cold plunge and a sauna, that's pretty unique.
It is. They also mentioned 3 bedrooms on the second floor, one of which is currently being used as an office.
Okay, so flexible space there.
And then the third floor is dedicated to the primary suite, which has a 5-piece ensuite and a walk-in closet.
Sounds like a nice retreat.
And there's a finished basement with a recreation room and a full bathroom.
So again, you could potentially have guests or extended family living down there.
You could. And they mentioned being steps away from Summerhill and Yorkville shops and restaurants.
So that urban convenience is still a big selling point.
It is. Now, here's where we see a bigger jump in price. 220 Heath Street East in Rosedale Moore Park.
Okay, back to Rosedale. What's the price on this one?
This one is listed at $4,189,000.
Wow. Okay, that's a significant increase.
It is. This is a 2-story detached home on a 30 by 120-foot lot.
Okay, so a good-sized lot, but not massive.
Right. But they emphasize that it was completed in 2017 and designed by a well-known architect, Peter Higgins.
So this one is all about modern luxury and design.
It is. They mentioned soaring ceilings, white oak herringbone floors, custom walnut millwork, a double-sided fireplace.
Sounds high-end.
It is. The family room is open to what they call a dream kitchen with top-of-the-line appliances and a breakfast area.
Okay, so they're really pulling out all the stops with this one.
They are. There's a walkout to a professionally landscaped private yard, a side entrance mudroom, an oversized skylight on the second floor, a primary suite with a walk-in closet, and a spa-like in-suite.
Wow, so it's not just about the house itself, it's about the whole experience.
Exactly. They even mention a second laundry area, which is a nice touch.
Very practical.
And there's a finished lower level with a recreation room, an office or a gym, a 5th bedroom, and a 3-piece bathroom.
So even more flexible space in the basement.
And they highlight having a private driveway that can fit 3 cars.
That's a luxury in itself in Rosedale.
It is. And of course, they mentioned being a short stroll to the subway, shops and restaurants on Yonge, St. Clair, and Mount Pleasant.
So location, location, location.
Exactly. And finally, in the detached category, we have 126 Garfield Avenue, also in Rosedale Moore Park.
All right, so another Rosedale property. What's the asking price on this one?
This one is listed at $4,250,000.
Okay, so the highest price we've seen so far.
It is. It's a 2.5-story home on a 40 by 125-foot lot.
Yeah. So a good-sized lot, but not as big as some of those others we saw.
Right. This one seems to have a more traditional feel. They mention a foyer with a stone floor, a living room with a marble fireplace and a bay window, a dining room with wainscoting and leaded glass.
So a bit more formal, maybe a bit older.
It seems that way.
Mhm.
But they also mentioned a renovated kitchen with stone counters, a family room combined with a breakfast area that overlooks the backyard.
So they've updated it to incorporate those modern living spaces.
They have. The primary bedroom has a four-piece en suite and his and hers closets.
His and hers closet's fancy.
And there are four additional bedrooms, plus a finished basement with a media room, a bedroom, a recreation room combined with an office, and a laundry room.
Wow, so this one has a lot to offer in terms of space and amenities.
It does. So, taking a step back and looking at all these detached homes together, what are some of the things that stand out to you?
Well, it's pretty clear that even within this relatively narrow price range, the term detached home covers a huge variety of properties.
Right. We're seeing different lot sizes, different square footage, different ages and architectural styles.
And different levels of finish. Some of them are move-in ready, some of them might need a bit more work.
And location plays a huge role. Like you said earlier, location, location, location.
It really does. I mean, you can generally get more space and a larger lot the further you get from the downtown core.
Right, like those Lawrence Park and Leaside properties versus the ones in the Annex or closer to Yonge Street.
Exactly. And it seems like buyers are making that trade-off between space and convenience.
They are. And another thing that jumped out to me is how many of these listings emphasized being move-in ready.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It seems like a lot of buyers at this level are looking for homes that are already updated and don't need a lot of work.
Right. They want those modern finishes, the gourmet kitchens, the spa-like bathrooms.
And a lot of them mention things like smart home technology, too.
Yeah, that seems to be becoming more and more common.
And then there's the location aspect, which we keep coming back to.
It's unavoidable.
It is. Proximity to good schools is a huge factor, especially for families.
Definitely. And parks, green spaces, easy access to public transportation.
Especially the subway.
And being close to all those amenities like shops and restaurants.
All those things add up to make a neighborhood more desirable and therefore more expensive.
Exactly. And one thing that we haven't talked about yet, but it's important to consider, is property taxes.
Oh yeah, property taxes are a significant expense, especially at this level.
They are. And we see quite a bit of variation in those 2024 property tax bills, even within this price range.
Right, because different areas have different tax rates.
And the assessed value of the property also plays a role.
So that's something that buyers would definitely need to factor into their calculations.
Absolutely. And then we also saw some really unique features in some of these listings.
Like that cold plunge and sauna in that Casa Loma house.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely not something you see every day.
And some of the properties backed onto ravine lots, which gives you that sense of privacy and nature.
That's a premium feature for sure.
And we even saw a couple of listings that mentioned potential for a laneway house.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal in Toronto these days.
It is. It can add a lot of value to a property.
And it can provide extra living space or even a source of rental income.
Exactly. So moving on from detached homes, let's take a look at the townhouse options we have.
Okay, townhouses. Interesting. So we're shifting gears to a different type of property now.
We are. And the first one is 9 Dunvegan Road in Casa Loma.
Casa Loma. All right, so back to that high-end neighborhood.
It is. This townhouse is listed at $3,160,000.
Okay, so right in the middle of our price range.
It's a freehold townhouse, so you own the land it's on, which is different from a condo.
Right, so you have more control over the property.
It's approximately 2,140 square feet, plus a terrace.
Okay, so a decent amount of space.
It has 9 principal rooms, plus 1, 3 bedrooms, and 4 bathrooms.
So comparable to some of those smaller detached homes we looked at.
And they emphasize that it's newly renovated with high-end finishes.
So again, that move-in ready aspect that seems to be so popular.
Exactly. They mention a gourmet kitchen with state-of-the-art appliances, a contemporary open-concept main level with 10-foot ceilings and hardwood floors.
So it's modern and stylish?
It is. And all 3 bedrooms have their own en-suite bathrooms.
Oh, wow, that's a nice touch.
The primary suite has a 7-piece en-suite and walk-in closets.
7-piece en suite, that's pretty luxurious.
It is. And they also mention radiant heated floors and a built-in barbecue center on the terrace.
Okay, so some really nice features.
And it comes with underground parking for 2 cars.
That's a big deal in Casa Loma.
It is, and they highlight being close to top schools like Upper Canada College and Bishop Strachan School.
So those are some of the most prestigious private schools in the city.
They are, and they mention being steps away from all the amenities around Yonge and St. Clair.
Okay, so great location.
It is. Now moving on to the annex, we have 188 Bedford Road, listed at $3,495,000.
Okay, so a bit more expensive than that Casa Loma townhouse.
It is. This is a 3-story townhouse on a longer, narrower lot.
How narrow we're talking.
15.65 feet wide, but it's 150.25 feet deep.
Okay, so a pretty unusual lot shape.
It is. It has 8 principal rooms plus 3, 3 bedrooms plus 1, and 4 bathrooms.
Okay, so similar in size to that Casa Loma one.
It is. They describe it as a renovated Georgian red brick home.
So it's got that classic annex architecture.
It does. They mention 9'6" ceilings on the main floor, herringbone oak floors, a chef's kitchen with custom cabinetry and high-end appliances.
Okay, so they've kept those traditional features but updated it for modern living.
Exactly. The second floor has the primary suite with a 5-piece ensuite, double closets, and an ensuite laundry room, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, that's very convenient.
And there's a family room on that floor as well.
Okay, interesting layout.
The third floor has an office or exercise room and a bedroom.
So some flexibility there.
And the lower level has a kitchen, a living space, and a bedroom or an office with a walkout to a patio.
Wow, so that lower level could be a completely separate unit.
It could. And they highlight the fact that it's zoned commercial residential.
Oh, interesting. So you could potentially run a business from home.
You could. Or rent out that lower level as a commercial space.
That's a big plus.
It is. They also mention a detached garage and a parking pad for 2 cars.
That's rare in the annex.
It is. And again, they emphasize the location. Steps from Yorkville, Ramsden Park, and all the amenities along Yonge Street and in Summerhill.
So that prime annex location is really what you're paying for.
It is. Now, the final townhouse we have is 22 Birch Avenue, Townhouse D, in the Yonge St. Clair area.
Yonge St. Clair, okay. Another really desirable location.
This one is listed at $3,995,000.
So the priciest townhouse we've seen so far.
It is. It's described as a 3-story brownstone, one of only 5 in the complex.
Okay, so a bit more exclusive.
It has 8 principal rooms, plus 1, 4 bedrooms, and 5 bathrooms.
So it's a good size.
And they highlight the fact that it has a private elevator to all 4 levels.
A private elevator. Wow, that's fancy.
It is. They also mention light-filled rooms, soaring ceilings, a rooftop terrace with 360-degree city views.
Okay, so they're really selling the luxury aspect of this one.
They are. The main floor has a living room with a gas fireplace, a dining room with a walkout to a patio, and a kitchen.
So a nice flow for entertaining.
The second floor is dedicated to the primary suite, which has an office, a spa-like ensuite, and a walk-in closet.
Sounds very luxurious.
The third floor has 3 bedrooms and a kitchenette, which would be great for serving that rooftop terrace.
That's a nice touch.
And the lower level has a recreation room. They mention a built-in garage, a detached garage, and driveway parking.
So plenty of parking options.
But they also mention that there are maintenance fees, which is typical for this type of property.
Right, because it's part of a complex.
Exactly. So we've seen 3 very different townhouse options.
We have. And they all seem to be located in those really prime, walkable neighborhoods.
They do. And they all emphasize high-end finishes and modern amenities.
Yeah, it seems like that's what buyers are looking for at this price point.
And I think it highlights how townhouses offer a different kind of lifestyle compared to those detached homes.
Right. You might be sacrificing a bit of space and privacy, but you're gaining that urban convenience and walkability.
Exactly. Now, we only have one semi-detached listing to look at.
Okay, interesting. So semis are a bit less common at this price point.
It seems that way. This one is 161 McPherson Avenue in the Annex.
The Annex again? Seems like that's a popular area for this price range.
It does. This semi is listed at $3,495,000.
Okay, right in the middle of our range.
It's a 3-story semi on an 18.75 by 120-foot lot.
So a decent-sized lot for a semi.
It is. It has a total of 9 rooms, 4 bedrooms, and 5 bathrooms.
Okay, so plenty of space.
And they emphasize that it's been renovated to blend the original character of the home with modern sophistication.
That seems to be a common theme in the Annex, preserving those historical features while updating everything.
It does. They mention a formal living room with a gas fireplace, a dining room that opens to a custom IA kitchen.
IA kitchens are high-end.
They are. The kitchen has a large island and professional appliances, and there's a walkout to a landscaped backyard.
So again, that indoor-outdoor connection.
The second floor has the primary suite with a walk-in closet and a four-piece en suite and a second bedroom.
Okay, good layout.
The third floor has two more bedrooms.
So plenty of space for a family.
And the lower level is finished with a recreation room that has built-in shelves and a laundry room.
Nice.
They also mention a custom-built oversized two-car garage, which is a huge plus for a semi in this area.
Yeah, parking is always a premium in the annex.
And they say there's potential for a laneway house with a viability report available.
Oh, that's a big selling point.
It is. It could add a lot of value to the property.
And it's in the heart of Summerhill, so walking distance to all the shops, restaurants, and schools.
Exactly. So we've seen detached houses, townhouses, and a semi-detached property.
We have. And it's amazing how much variety there is, even within this fairly specific price range.
It is. And I think it really highlights the different lifestyles that are available in Toronto.
Right. You can choose to prioritize space, convenience, character, modern amenities, views, location. It all depends on what's most important to you.
And what you're willing to compromise on.
Exactly. Because no property is perfect. It's all about finding the best fit for your needs and your budget.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Toronto real estate market, what are some of the key takeaways that we should leave our listeners with?
Well, I think the first one is that location is absolutely king. It really dictates what you can get for your money and what kind of lifestyle you can expect.
Absolutely. And the second takeaway, I think, is